A little bit that way. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, stand by. I'm going to get Jason and bring him in the studio, and we're going to get going. Tap that screen or share the live so others can know what we're doing. Come on in. Have a seat in that black chair there.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, he gets upset that I don't let him come in when I'm recording, but inherently every time he grabs a bone and he starts gnawing on it.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Doing the cool dog thing.
Yeah. Okay, so we're all set up here. Have you done a podcast recording before?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You're casual. Good. So there's their view.
Oh, cool.
And then we're live on the book and on TikTok.
Oh, you do TikTok too, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. This one. It's the only thing with these. See you a little more than me. Okay, there we go. Good morning, everyone. We are going to get going. So Dr. D here, Deep Dive with Dr. D. And yeah, boy, I'm excited. So first, let me do my shameless plug that I do. If you don't know by now, I would do this every time. I released my book earlier this year, Grit Over Shame. It is wherever you buy books. You can get it on Amazon locally in Ellensburg at Pearl Street Books, Gerald's, and you can get it online. You can get it as an ebook, and I narrated it because one of you said, hey, you should narrate it, so I did. So you can get it as an audiobook, and that's yours.
Oh, good. I was going to ask you.
Yeah,
Say I hadn't read this.
Yeah.
And I want to read it.
That is yours.
Oh, it's signed to me. That's
it is.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, if I get famous someday, you can go, hey, I knew that guy.
I still read books, so I appreciate the pages, man.
Perfect.
Yeah, I just read Mark Lanigan's book. It was my bedtime.
Oh yeah.
Like get down for about a week.
Yeah.
And well, it was rough.
Oh,
that was a rough one.
Yeah.
Read Sing Backwards and Weep.
Okay.
Was Mark Lanigan's book. It's like kind of his memoir. And,
well, I call that the short story of the crazy wild ride of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have, if you're watching this live, we've got some people on Facebook and we've got some friends on TikTok. Those of you that live in Ellensburg for any amount of time, you probably know this guy, Jason Clifton. Uh-huh. And I was thinking back, I think I met you, way back.
I think I was honestly trying to think of that too, and I was thinking that it must have been in 2009 when you were working for Barth.
Yeah. Was that it?
Yeah.
And that must have been when I met Mira at the time, same time.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because we had just had our kid.
Yep.
Like right then.
Yeah. So about 2009. So that's a long time. 16 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember the first time I met you, I'm like, oh, I'm going to like this guy. You're a pretty cool dude. So we've known each other a long time. And I was thinking about this too. When do I interact with Jason?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I usually see Jason downtown. That's usually where I pass by him.
Yeah.
He's got his art is down there. His most recent one that I really like is the Screaming Trees. Artwork on the back of a building in an alley, and that is super cool. I just showed it to a guy.
Matt Stevens owns that building.
Okay.
So it's the back of Matt Stevens' building. That's how we were able to kind of just get away with that, with just sliding in and do it without
that's perfect
permission, right?
I think it's super cool.
I tend not to get a lot of permission for the things that I do downtown from the bureaucratic groups that run it,
But you do cool stuff.
I talk directly to the building owners. I honestly don't feel like they're not gonna like this, but like the art association, the downtown association, like all the bureaucratic parts that kind of run downtown, I feel like have this like self-appointed authority to them, and I've literally just gone directly to building owners and been like, hey, I do this, you own the thing, can I do this? And they say yeah, and it happens. It doesn't, like, all that other stuff is like not required.
Yeah.
And I feel like the self-importance of it is kind of locked up within themselves instead of the actuality of like an artist can just make art.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm almost feel like those people like or those kind of groups bar art from happening far more than they get it done or actually promote it, in the name of promoting themselves.
It makes me think, the KCRCO, which is now Peers Rising.
Yeah.
That was my first foray into starting a nonprofit and launching it and growing it. And what you're saying, I see happen in a lot of ways is that I could even admit myself at times, we start things with really good intentions. Like, I want to help people, right? Yeah. Or I want to help communities.
Yeah, because I do think that everybody on those groups are like
well-intended.
Definitely want to do the thing.
Then we start protecting our territory.
Right.
And it makes me think of the building that Peers Rising is the old China Inn building.
Right.
And the guy who bought it and refurbished it, he almost gave up because of the bureaucratic stuff with the historic, whichever committee or organization,
historic society.
They were like, you got to keep this and you got to keep that. And it's like, there's part of me that, like, I get that, but also, it's his building.
It's his property. Yeah. I think there's a weird line there where, like, people those organizations try to tell people that actually own property what they can do with it.
Yeah.
And that starts to really impede on what it is to own something.
Yeah.
It belongs to me, or it belongs to this person. I mean, like, if I want to do something to it, who is any self-appointed group to tell you what you can do with the things that you own?
Well, just
part of that's just crazy to me.
I got a friend who owns a business in town, and the city, and every municipality is like this. It's not just Ellensburg.
Right. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's
the city has the right of way. Part of your property is actually the city can come, like the sidewalk, right?
It ends at the sidewalk, right?
You're required to maintain that sidewalk or any trees, but you can't make any changes, and it's it's interesting.
And then anything that's visible from the sidewalk on your thing becomes their territory. So it's like this visible line of sight onto your property becomes their property.
So is it mine or not?
Is it mine or not? Exactly right. And the historic society is crazy too. The buildings being a certain age and having them be like, oh, well, these are historic.
Yeah.
I mean, the pyramids are old.
Right.
The colonial buildings that are like 100 years old, I don't really consider old in a way, they're not, it's not the same thing.
Well, it's kind of
preserving them is like, dude, they were painting on them,
right?
They were painting murals on them, and so it's like I don't know. Some of that stuff is just crazy to me.
Yeah,
like
I'm with you.
The jurisdictional boundaries there are pretty crazy, and I'm just not a big fan of bureaucracy or really authority. Honestly,
I struggle with authority.
I always have. And I've really tried to grow into a place where I can strike a balance with it.
Yeah,
because I want to be a part of. I mean, I am a part of the community, and I want to work with it, and I want to contribute. And then you come up against these barriers that don't allow you to contribute in ways that you could just do. I could just paint more murals.
Yeah.
I mean, I painted 11 in the last probably 6 or 7 years in Ellensburg. And majority of them, I've just gone directly to the building owner and been like, "Hey, can I do this?" And they just say yes.
They're like, I'm the building owner. Why not?
They own the building, exactly. And like, I haven't had any large scale repercussion from it at all. So in my time and my experience of doing what I do, I haven't seen the backlash of the authority of those groups. Like they haven't struck me down for it. Right. So in a way I've seen that it's not as necessary as they might think they are. Right?
Nice.
Not to think that like those people aren't awesome, because
good.
I do love that like there are organizations of people that like want to promote art and want to make more murals or want to find a way to make it all legit somehow. But some of us that are doing it are just doing it.
Yeah. So you've already kind of done this. Told us a little bit about who you are. You're a local artist. I know you love that work. So just kind of a Reader's Digest version for those who are listening or watching who don't know Jason Clifton. Give us the 2-minute drill, 3-minute drill on who you are. Who do you want people to know you as?
Oh, those are almost two different questions.
Almost.
Yeah. God, I mean, I guess first it was skateboarding. I came here as a skateboarder from California.
Okay.
I came here in 1990 the first time, and I'd already been into skateboarding. And then here I skateboarded. I'm a skateboarder. I still skateboard to this day. Skateboarding is what got me into everything. Skateboarding got me into graffiti and music. So yeah, I was
Okay.
part of the
Yep.
skateboarding community here in the beginning. I became the guy from Ellensburg. I got good here, and then started going to Yakima and Seattle, and just kind of got known as the guy from Ellensburg. Um, and started making music in the '90s. I was making hip hop records.
Hmm.
So there was a group here called Log Hog that was already kind of had a record label, and I was signed and doing like the underground hip
I
hop
just remembered
circuit.
you had a little store, a skateboard store in town.
I ran the Mosaic skateboard shop
Yeah,
here
I
in
remember that.
2010. Yeah, so Josh Mose opened up a skateboard shop here. That was the third one. There was one in Moses Lake originally where it started, and then Richland opened one, and then we opened one here, and I ran that. That was after having a spot at Static,
Okay.
and then Amy Clausen and I
Oh,
ran the
yeah.
Evil Industries back in
Oh,
2000 on
nice.
Main Street where
Yeah.
Robbers Roost is at now.
Amy's awesome.
Which was one side of that was a tattoo shop then
Yeah.
when Clayton and Soren were running a shop the shop there, and we had the other side.
So skateboarding.
Yeah.
What
And
else?
skateboarding got me into art. So yeah,
Okay.
skateboarding and being from California, like graffiti was kind of like a part of my life there.
Hmm.
And so yeah, I just kept doing that here. Skateboarding and music is what I did mostly.
Hmm.
And then it wasn't until I had my first kid and I was like kind of on my own with my kid.
Wait,
And I
first kid?
Uh-huh.
How
Yeah.
many kids do you
I
have?
have two.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have two. Yeah, I have a
Okay.
boy that lives in Everett too.
Okay.
Um,
Older or younger than
Younger,
young?
12.
Okay.
12,
Got
yeah.
it. Go ahead. Okay.
Yeah.
So two kids?
Ozzy and Ollie, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Mira and I had Ollie,
Uh-huh.
and I was kind of on, and we weren't together, and
Yep.
so I was kind of on my own there. And I ran the skateboard shop for the first couple of years, and then that, like, the internet kind of killed that.
Mm.
Having
Yep.
such a select thing in a
Yep.
small town, and then the internet was just kind of
Yeah.
taking off, not taking off, but like
Mhm.
the availability for
Mhm.
people to order an exotic goldfish from Zimbabwe and have
Right.
it delivered to their house tomorrow
Yeah.
became like
I know.
obvious that like it
Yeah.
wasn't going to be easy to keep a skateboard shop open, and there's not a lot of skateboarders here. Um, so I started making art because I could do that at home,
Hmm.
and with another kind of like partner person that I was working with. And I got into like I was kind of doing like a master's program basically for art, a working master's program. So I was learning
Mhm.
and actually producing work,
Mhm.
and then doing shows and learning how to price things, and
Mhm.
you know,
Where's some of your art for sale right now?
it's always for sale in my garage.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
always for sale.
Good.
I have a big archive there, but I don't have anything up right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
I,
have,
I,
though.
I
I've seen
yeah,
it
oh
around.
yeah, yeah. I did the first Friday art walk circuit
Mm-hmm.
prior to the pandemic, the years
Mhm.
up until 2019
Mm-hmm.
when I got Artist of the Year. That's kind of how I got Artist of the Year, was by
Mhm.
doing every single first Friday art walk for 3 years straight.
What style is your art?
Yeah, it's like a conglomerate. I basically it's like it's a form of screen printing. Like if you understand screen printing, each layer of the screen print requires a screen for each color. And you would, color separate an image, and then blues, yellows, whatever the colors are, get a layer. I do all that with hand cut stencils and spray paint instead of screen printing. And then I use all the street form technique or street art techniques, wheat pasting.
Is anyone else doing that you know of?
There's other people that do it.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
Yeah. A lot of
Pretty
people,
unique,
A
wouldn't
lot
you
of people
say?
that do it kind of specialize in one thing or the other, and kind of stick to a realm. I transgress all the platforms and
Okay.
merge them all together to
Okay.
kind of like, my idea was to take street art techniques and form them all together to create a fine art.
Mm.
So like my paintings are closer to a fine art, like what, the end process is more of a fine art thing than it is just a street art thing. But I'm using all the various street art techniques in layers to produce something like fine at the end.
Awesome.
So it makes it a little more high end, because I had to be realistic about actually making money.
Mm-hmm.
Art is like a real finicky realm to, I mean, you almost get treated like you're hustling people if you're just trying to be like, oh, I made this painting and you should buy it for this, or like, oh, well, why is it worth that, or whatever.
Yeah.
But then in the fine art world, the gallery world, that whole world, there are like established levels of what things are worth, right? And so if you're starting to use all the and your end result starts to be in the realm of that finer art, there is a dollar amount you can attach to it, and it becomes way more realistic to actually make a living at it, right? Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not getting rich or anything, but I've been paying my own bills for over a decade on art. I'm basically alone, right? I'll throw in a house. I'll paint a house every once in a while or whatever, but honestly, it went from like painting houses to making art, and then fully just like I couldn't really take time away from making and producing art to paint a house. Right. So there was a good minute there when I was just only making money painting murals and paintings, and just that's cool. Honestly making all my bills, and like able to raise a kid, you know. So nice. Yeah, and it's difficult in a small area, you know. Like Ellensburg's pretty small. It's like
it is. It is.
I had to stretch out a little bit. I had to start going to Seattle and Yakima and Everett, and I just started branching out because Ellensburg has a First Friday art walk, but Seattle has two. They have like the first Thursdays and then the third Thursdays in different parts of Seattle. So I started going there and doing the same regimen I was pulling off in Ellensburg. I was pulling off over there, and so I was trying to like diversify the portfolio and get more revenue streams. Good for you. So that was really helpful. I had a lot of success over there, and a little bit more money because people were willing to pay for things on a higher scale over there. Cool. They appreciated it a little bit more, my effort coming from Ellensburg and stuff, you know.
Well, this is a perfect segue. I'll get to our first question. Local artists, local musicians, skateboarding, and I should just hit my head again. That's how I remember you when I first met you. You were heavy into the skateboarding.
I still am. No, cool. I'm 45 and I still skate, man. I love. I will never not skateboard, man. Good for you. It's my martial art. Yeah. For sure.
So we've got a few questions to ask because Jason and I, we met when I was in my former career as a counselor, and the reason I asked you to come on today is because when I just saw you, what was it, Friday? And
Thursday, yeah,
Thursday. And you said 6 months, and
and 6 months on Friday. That's why I was like, tomorrow I'm 6 months, man.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
I've created these questions based on that really short conversation, and I'm not going to say what you said. Yeah. I asked you how you did it, and you told me you did. Yeah. So I said, I need some more guests. So I asked you, and then next week I'm going to have Corey Weiniger. Do you know Corey?
I don't think I know Corey.
Corey's awesome.
I mean, it's possible we know each other. I'm sure I've seen him.
And then the following week will be Andy Rosbach.
Okay.
And they're all men like us that have changed our relationship with drugs or alcohol, drugs and alcohol, whatever the case may be. Yeah. So here we go. Here's the first question. How has your art and music helped to you to navigate your changing relationship with alcohol and or drugs, or just alcohol, whichever you want?
Yeah. I'm not California sober. I'm legit sober. So it's like I don't really consider weed a drug, but I mean, obviously it's just the government does and everything.
But how's your art and music? Because you've always been an artist in the music,
right.
So how's that changed?
I mean, it hasn't changed my art or music, but becoming sober requires you to fill a void, and I guess it's like the purpose. I needed to really focus on what I consider to be my purpose, and make that a higher priority than drinking was. I didn't consider drinking a priority, but it was. Right? Like in that way, it kind of deludes you because you're always doing it. You don't even realize like it's almost the highest priority over all the things that you might even be doing great in life. Yeah. So it hasn't changed my art or music, but art, music, skateboarding, and my relationships with people in those spheres are my focus. They've become more of my purpose, and they're not like filling the void, but like that, because that purpose is more important. I don't have any desire to drink. Like I don't have any desire because I'm so involved and more deeply involved in the realms that I already was. And then the interactions that I'm having with people now that I am sober in those realms are just infinitely deeper and more diverse and fulfilling.
Yeah.
Right? Like I was telling you about the study of the rats from the 70s.
Yes.
The rats in the cage with cocaine in one bottle and water in the other. When there's nothing to do, cocaine to death. They just did it until they died.
Yep.
And then the psychologist comes and was like, well, this isn't really how reality works. Let's give them everything they need.
Fulfill them.
Fulfillment. Yeah, let's give them toys and
toys, a wheel.
Things to do. And all of a sudden, with the same choices, little to none of them ever touched the cocaine bottle again. And if they did, it was like momentary.
Yeah.
Because there was outliers. There were rats that did, dabble in it, but then they didn't. Then they didn't do it to death. So if the rats know that purpose is important in life, then we should take a lesson from that. And so
super cool.
Now, I mean, I'm already kind of applying that, but like knowing that has given that whole idea like so much credence and relevance. So it's really just delving my whole psyche into my purpose.
That's awesome.
And of the things that I was already doing.
That's awesome.
And
So you
alcohol was just getting in the way.
Yeah.
It was like really there was times for the couple of years before I finally did decide to stop drinking. There was times when, because I'd started to play guitar and I was like writing songs, and there'd be times when I'd be out drinking and be like get really stoked in a conversation about music and then want to go home and like play. So I come home and play and I couldn't because the response time just wasn't there.
It's
in my
physiologically,
just,
the alcohol,
biology, alcohol was just affecting it, and it was really making me upset. It upset me that like this thing was getting in the way, and now I had to just like not be able to play for the rest of the night because of this choice that I'd made.
So that helps you to see.
It totally helped.
You helped you to see. Here's my crisis, if it is right. Yeah, exactly. I want to do this music, and this is getting in the way. It's got to go.
It's got to go. Yeah.
You speak to a couple things that I really like, and one is that, and sometimes you do, like some people get into recovery and you need to stay away from this because it's so much associated with drugs and alcohol. You haven't had to do that. It's actually helped you.
I haven't had to. I honestly don't have a bad relationship with alcohol or drugs in that way. I don't hate them. I don't hate people that do them. I don't hate weed. I don't hate alcohol. I don't hate. I'm like, I can't be around my family because they drink still, or I can't go to family functions, or no more of this, or no more going to bar. Our band plays in bars.
Yes.
Right? And bars do have options for people that don't drink. People just don't know because they go there to drink. But there's a plethora of things to drink at a bar when you don't have to drink alcohol, right? So like I find it like really awesome. It's like a superpower to be able to go to a bar and like not feel this obligation to go up to the bar and like order a drink and continue to get loaded.
I'm going to cut you off because I want people to hear this, because you're doing what I try to talk about. Like when you say I don't hate drugs and alcohol and I don't hate people that do. I think we have to stop making it this war, this fight against drugs and alcohol.
Right.
Like, yes, drugs and alcohol did a lot of damage to me, for sure, in my life. But in my life today, like I say to people, like, hey, if you want to drink, please drink.
Yeah.
Just because I'm not drinking.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
Right?
Yeah.
That is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I think we need more of that. And I want to say this, if you're listening, we were talking about this study they did decades ago. It was actually post-Vietnam War. That they did a study on our rats and the drugs and whether they used them or not. There's a great book, and it's High Price by Carl Hart. He was involved in these studies, and he writes about the environmental factors and how when you give people purpose and resources to feel connected, drugs and alcohol are no longer even like, it's like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a simple decision not to.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah, because I hear people talk about how they like can't be around people, or I can't go to these places, and
or we cut entire segments.
I feel like
that's
still giving alcohol power over.
Yes,
I feel so empowered. Like I said, like it's superpower. I feel empowered to be able to walk into a bar. I feel light and free of the obligation. I can just be there, and now I'm not there to drink.
Yeah.
I'm there to talk to
play
people,
music
to
and
play
connect,
music
yeah.
and socialize and be a part of the world in a way more engaging way than I could have before, even though I thought that was making me more engaging in some way.
Yeah.
But really it was just this like biological addiction to like bring you to a place to do something which was just fulfilling itself. It's like your meat machine just kind of like is on its own mission to get the things it wants. And as soon as your awareness kind of becomes the pilot, you know, you don't need to do that. And then it kind of controls your body. Your body doesn't want the things as much anymore when your awareness is so in control. Like, I don't know. There's just, I mean,
good.
I'm still like undergoing the change, and so it's still phenomenal to me. It's like there's a phenomenon occurring. It's a biological mental awareness phenomenon that's like, oh, your awareness and your mind are really running the body.
Yeah.
And
we have choice. We have
before
say.
It's like the body was actually running the show far more than my actual awareness and choices were. So now that I flipped the script on it, it took the power away from my body to be able to dictate to me what I can do. Now my awareness does that.
I think you'll appreciate this. This is what I say, and if you've listened to me at all, this will be familiar. As I say, when I was in active use, right, when I was taking drugs, alcohol, whatever it was, and I didn't have any knowledge that there was a different way. That's a pretty powerless state.
Yeah.
But the second that I learned, and what is happening for you, that I learned that I took away the drugs and alcohol, and I learned, oh, there's a different way.
Yeah.
And I can use whatever tools an individual uses to shift. I have power. Yeah. I have a say. Yeah. I'm no longer powerless. And sometimes what I see is some people, my friends in recovery, in the recovery community, is they cling on to that powerlessness.
Right.
And I'm like, no, you have a say.
Yeah, you do.
You can do amazing things, right?
You have to embody a certain amount of choices. And it's like, that's the work.
Yeah.
I mean, and like the steps
and
that are
it's
involved
not a
in that.
Bad thing.
No. Yeah, because the steps are some of the things that you do, but like regaining your awareness and your agency of self is probably most likely what Jesus was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like at any point in the world right now, there could be another Jesus. People just have to decide to do it.
Yes.
You decide to become him. You don't wait for that external thing. Right? Like, so there is a power that you gain by adopting this agency of self.
Yeah.
And it starts to take the power of your body away. It's like my awareness and my choices are what I am. Right. And like,
you make me think of two things. So my friends that are involved in 12-step programs, I've been involved in them heavily along the way. They're great for people that love them. If that's your thing, it says in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, and I'm not going to say it exactly, that we will no longer be concerned with alcohol.
Yeah.
The power of alcohol.
And you'll know serenity.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the word that we're talking, that maybe serenity is a good word.
Yeah.
It does encompass it a little bit. But I feel like it's more phenomenal than that. The actual experience of what they consider like serenity, it is a more phenomenal realization in the human experience, and it's almost like an evolution of this mind-body thing that's going on. It's hard to put into words, but like there's something going on there that's far greater.
Yeah.
And and the 12 steps are good. I mean, like, they're part of it. I think they work, but like the path is to continue to move past that.
Yes.
And to go and grow and get better and better and leave that part behind. Yeah. They're like doors that open you to a new realm. And then once you're in that realm, you can just close that door behind you and be in a new room and then another door. And the human just continues to evolve, like, I don't like clinging on to some of the other stuff. It's like, I mean, like, I don't forget and I remember. And it is part of my self-motivation not to do it, to drink again, is remembering.
Sure.
Like,
but I'm not going to continually live there.
But I don't live there anymore.
I'm not going to continually go back there.
I'm not going to live there at all.
Yeah.
All
right. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to ask this one. How has your creative process changed since stepping into this new chapter of your life? If so, how? If it has changed
it hasn't
at all.
changed at all.
Okay.
Right? It hasn't changed at all. It's just gotten better. It's gotten more focused.
Yeah. You're not coming home from the bar frustrated,
Right.
Because you can't fucking play what you were talking about at the bar. That doesn't happen anymore.
Right. Yeah, that doesn't happen. Yeah, totally. I'm like free to weave in and out of like my creative process.
What about friendships? Have those changed?
I don't know if they've changed, but I mean, yeah, I mean, some people are awkward around people that don't drink that do drink, but like I said, like it doesn't matter to me. So I've been like really upfront that like, dude, it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, good.
What you do, so
their thing.
So yeah, I haven't had any people like fall away or anything like that.
Good.
I think everybody's really encouraged by somebody like me getting sober. It probably was a big surprise to people that like I decided to do it.
Yeah.
Without like
they're like, oh,
nudge from the judge or whatever, you know. Like it was like, I'm gonna do this and just see what's up. Let's see what happens, right? And like,
what was the deciding factor?
Oh man, I mean, so I did get in some trouble a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And honestly, it was getting arrested in front of my kid. That like that feeling, because it had been like 16 years plus since I'd had any engagement within the law at all, and like it was that was a catalyst.
Yep.
But then, so like I'd gotten to a point in my drinking where I was like blacking out.
Okay.
Right, and so I was like blacking out downtown for hours and hours.
Oh boy!
And then coming home, making food, cooking on the stove, like boiling grease, turning like it was getting crazy.
Yeah.
And it started to dawn on me that like the people around me weren't being like, dude, you need to chill out. What's up? They were all sitting back to watch the show.
Yeah.
So I canceled that show.
Good for you.
I was like, no more episodes of the Jason Blacking Out Downtown show. And
I think you said I'm a dad, and for me, being a dad, now a grandfather, are my most important roles. I saw the change in your affect when you said your child saw you get arrested.
Yeah. That'll never happen again.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I was like, that show is canceled.
Yeah. And the piece of...
And I don't want them growing up in a town. I don't want them growing up in a town where, like, that's the story of me. When they get a little bit older, they're going to be out and around, and all of a sudden be like, oh, I know your dad. He blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that show's over. No more of that show.
So you're shifting the narrative. For yourself?
For your kids? Yeah. Because I have no idea what that story really looks like. Being blacked out is bananas, man. It's totally. And it was like, and I did the alcoholic thing where you like try to like, oh well, maybe if I don't take shots at a point, I'm not gonna black out. If I make sure
all of this,
I still, and so like you try all the things, and so like that's why some of those Alcoholics Anonymous thing going to those meetings is crazy, because like you hear your story over and over and over again about that commonality, right? Where you like try to make all these adjustments and changes. And it just got to a point where like there'd be one night I could drink like 30 beers and be fine, and then the next night I'm blacking out on some beers. Yeah. And so it's like, my biology is like set enough.
Yeah.
My biology is set enough, dude. Like there is no getting around it. There's no skirting it. There's no like pattern you can do that's going to make it work. It's just not going to work. So the only option is just not to do it.
Remove it.
Just remove it and see what happens. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I've had a phenomenal experience being sober. Like my life is epically better than it was.
Well, I've always liked you, and I think you know this about me, whether you were drinking or not. I always liked you and love people, and I'm here for people no matter what. But I can say to you that your affect is much different now. It's lighter. Yeah. It's like your smile's different.
Yeah.
And it's super cool to see how.
Yeah. I just feel that. There was a different kind of experience I had too. Like my first DMT experience, kind of before it was one of the parts of the road before I stopped drinking that made me realize like how I was affecting myself.
Yep.
So a part of the DMT experience was that like before that I was carrying a lot of people's opinion of me. I was like making up opinions of myself from other people's perspective, and I was carrying that, and I was like letting it inhabit me in this, come to find out, a really physical way. So my first DMT experience definitely manifested all those people into the room, and like during that 10-minute experience, I knew they were in the room with me. I knew it on this, my whole body knew it. And the person I was doing was like, dude, like, it's just me here. We're alone. And I was like, no, we're not. I know they're all here. I knew it. And then even after like the 10 minutes of being like in the DMT experience, I had this overwhelming sense of, I was like looking around being like, are you sure they didn't just like leave or whatever? I couldn't believe it. Then over the course of the next month, thinking about that experience made me like realize like I'm allowing these people's opinions of me, and like I'm manufacturing a shame that I think that they have for me, and I'm like carrying it. And once I kind of had that realization that I was doing that, I spent the next like few months like intentionally not like forcing that thought out, and then literally forcing the experience of them out of me, and just realizing it, like to myself, that like that's not real. Yeah. It's not a real thing, and I'm allowing that to happen. Yeah. And then that started to adapt itself to other things. Like, oh, I'm allowing alcohol to do this to me, and I'm carrying this. I'm allowing, you know. So there was like an evolution of experiences that kind of gave me the mental ability and realization to let go of certain things. And had I not had that experience, I wouldn't have been able to put the frame of reference together in my mind that like maybe alcohol is one of those things also that I'm doing besides the physical things, because physical things had been happening. Blacking out had been happening for years, but I still continue to drink. There was maybe fleeting moments of like, oh, maybe I should stop drinking, but they just like went away. But until I had some other like profound realizations, I might not have had the full capacity to fully wrap my head around the idea that like alcohol could go. I could actually do that because I had let go of all these other deeply rooted things. And so I let go of a lot of things. That's what got me to this lighter place. Like once I started letting the people's shame go and then letting these other things go, the light just like, I just felt lighter. I feel so light when I walk into a bar or a room anywhere. I feel like I'm just completely open and chill. Right. Like it's definitely and I'm still kind of getting used to it.
It's cool.
Right. Like it's an interest. It's like a phenomenon. It's very strange.
Okay. Let's do this. What's one piece of hope you'd share with someone who feels stuck in their relationship with alcohol?
Oh man, we've all got the same set of tools. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't feel like I'm an expert on it. You know, I don't have like 30 years of sober, you know, like my mom's 27 years and God bless her. Man. So I don't know what I have to offer except for like my experience.
Let's say you have someone that comes to you and says, dude, I really want to stop drinking, but I just don't feel like I can. I don't feel like there's any hope. What would you share with them?
Fuck, man. Like, the crazy thing is that it has to be a decision from you.
Okay.
Right? I mean, like, you have to decide that it's what you want to do and that you are prepared to do anything to do it. Right? Like, you have to really kind of, like, just... I mean, I don't know. It doesn't seem hopeful to a lot of people, but it's just knowing that it's possible, maybe. Like, I like the idea of, like, you can tell people whatever you want to and talk to your blue in the face, but people don't like to be told what to do.
Yep.
So embodying the thing and being the thing and then showing by example is probably the best way people learn.
Yeah.
So I'd probably just open myself up to those people and be like, come hang out with me.
Yeah. Nice.
Dude, like, if you want to drink, just call me and come over.
Yeah.
You know I'm not going to, and just be around somebody who's not.
Yeah.
And absorb it a little bit, you know?
Yeah,
I mean, you've raised kids, so you know that, like, human brain's just like a sponge. Kids don't really know anything. They just imitate everything they see, and then that becomes them.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think people ever stop doing that.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
So I think that's just kind of how the human mind works. So being around somebody that's an example of what you want to be is a good way to become that thing in your own way, you know, because you just inherently start picking it up by example.
It makes me think of two things.
So it would be hard for me to say something philosophical or something helpful or hopeful that would make somebody listen, because I don't feel like people want to listen. But if you're just around
Especially
somebody,
if you're hurting and you're really struggling,
right. But just offering a portion of your life up and being, I mean, I would totally do that. I would totally do that to anybody, you know, like, yeah, dude, just come over. Come be around me, you know?
You make me think of two things. One is, and I say this because I get calls or someone will ask me, well, what can I do? And I say this to people because people, especially if it's your child or your spouse, you're like wanting to fix them and change them.
Right.
Well-meaning, but what you just said is a lot of times people don't want that.
Yeah,
but sometimes
and you can't.
No. Sometimes the best thing we can do, and what you just said is this, is model the behavior.
Yeah.
Just be you.
I honestly
and invite
feel like
them
that's the
into
best
your
thing.
world. Right? And then the other thing is your circle of influence. I teach on this. I preach on this. I talk about this. If you change who you're hanging out with, and this is where I agree with drug and alcohol counselors that say, you know, you're going to have to change who you hang out with.
Yeah.
I agree with it to an extent, but you know, hang out with me. Yeah. Come spend time with me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you all this advice or all these tips or anything. Just come.
Because I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just
figuring
doing
it out, right?
I'm literally just walking the path of it.
Yeah.
And as I do it, it occurs to me that this is working.
And that's
right. And so like it just becomes this own self-realization that every person has to have, and then they get it. But it can't be described.
Yeah.
You read 1,000 self-help books with your 50 years of sobriety.
Well,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like all of that's the same empty advice that anybody could give you that has the experience. But until the person like has the realization and the want or the intent rises in them, then they know the thing, and it can only happen within a person. It can't be told. It's like it's a knowing, you know.
So the hope you would give is pretty simple. It's like, and you're not saying this in some kind of I'm special, but hang out with me, spend time with me.
Yeah, if I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, and
literally, if I can do it,
right.
If I can do it, then anybody can do it, right?
I say this. I'm Dr. D, and I'm not the smartest guy in the room.
Yeah, neither am I. Yeah, I'm not like
I don't know much. There are people that know. Right. But what I do know is I just keep moving forward. You've said that a couple times. Right. And I just do the next indicated thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I stay away from drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
And I do the next indicated thing. I step into my passion in a different way.
Right. I hold the image of success out there.
Yeah.
But there is no plan to get to it. It's just that the image of success is there.
Yeah.
And whatever happens in between here and there that gets me there, I say yes to. Yeah. And I don't know what that looks like until it's happening. And I say yes and just keep moving forward. And then eventually that goal, I'm coming forward to that goal and we meet somewhere halfway. But there is no way or plan.
Perfect.
It's just the way to be in yourself all the time. And then that just gets you there. Yeah. Because there is no destination. Yeah. It's just the journey. You're just where you're at any given moment. Yeah. So I give up on the destination and give up on believing in belief systems and just know and go with what I know. Right? Because believing is just like a doubt. Like if you believe something, you can only believe something that you don't know. There's a doubt inherent to like you don't believe in your parents. You know them. You have to believe in Jesus because you don't know Jesus, right? So like believing is a trap in a way. It's like a crutch. Like, I believe. So I just gave up on believing in believing, and I just operate on what I know to be true, what I know from experience. Like if I do this, this will happen. There's consequences, but right or wrong don't really exist. Those are just ideas, and they're all you can make murdering a person right in the right situation. If you had to like somebody was going to kill your kid. And you killed that person, that could be considered right. Right? Even though
some people might applaud you for that.
Right. Even though it's wrong, it could be considered right. So right and wrong are just ephemeral. Consequences are the truth. There's only, if you do this, this will occur. That's a knowing. right? You can believe right and wrong, but you can't know that because any one given situation, it could be either or. So it's not a know thing, it's a belief thing.
Yeah.
Knowing something by experience is a far safer realm to be in if you want to take personal agency back.
Beautiful. Okay, we're going to wrap this up.
Cool.
Last question.
Oh.
What's something you've always wanted to ask me, or what's something during this 40 minutes that we've talked that you want to ask me?
Good question.
Yeah.
Honestly, probably how do you see me?
Oh.
What's your opinion of me, maybe? Like, I don't get to know that one very much.
Yeah.
I'm like living the thing and doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm not like self-absorbed, but I'm pretty focused on going.
Yeah.
So what does that look like from the outside?
Yeah, no, that's cool. And then I'm going to ask you that about me, because it's an interesting question, because we kind of walk in different worlds. We're not hanging out all the time. I see you as highly engaged in the community, as someone who values community, someone who values his art and his expression of art, and just all around. Every time I've interacted with you, before you found recovery and even now, I've always enjoyed our interactions.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And you, me.
Yeah. No, you've been great. I remember when I first met you in treatment.
Yeah.
Back in Barth.
Sure.
Yeah, you were awesome.
Okay.
You were by far the best counselor there, and I could tell that you actually cared about what you were doing. You weren't there because it was a job.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I could tell that, like... So, I grew up in California with a lot of... I don't know if people know your story, but you were like into meth and stuff.
Oh,
right?
it was
yeah,
bad.
yeah,
It was
totally.
ugly. Oh, yeah.
So, where I'm from in California, that's everybody.
Yeah.
So, I knew right away, like, what your story was, because I grew up in it.
Yeah.
And I had like this affinity for you. I was like, oh, dude, like I know you've come out of the hardest thing to get over,
ugly.
right?
It was ugly.
Yeah. So there was I immediately knew that like there was a real authenticity to you.
Yeah, yeah.
And your wanting to help people, because I've seen people come out of that, and then I've seen people like have that take them all the way, right?
Yeah.
And like, so yeah, it's been very cool. And all the way through to now, yeah, man, you've always been really positive. I can tell you really care about what you do. You're engaged, you're enthusiastic, you're a little ridiculous.
Right? Damn right.
And I love it. I love the vulnerability that you're able to express because of that freedom of self. And you've been absolutely encouraging.
Yeah, good.
Right?
Good.
As a person in the community, for sure. I've always been encouraged by you. To be like, oh yeah, there's a success story.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's what keeping it real going right looks like.
Yeah.
You know?
Awesome.
So yeah.
All right, friends. Well, that's another episode of Deep Dive with Dr. D. This one was a pretty awesome one. Probably one of my favorite guests thus far. And if my son's listening, you were great, son. Calm down. But thank you for joining me, Jason. Until next time.